survival, bushcraft. I like this word so much it gives me shivers. All these things are associated with cool dudes like Bear Grylls, and even cooler knives from Morskokansky, Ramiers, and other even cooler guys. But today we'll break with all the stereotypes and we'll survive with a very simple knife bought in a supermarket. It costs $1.50, 100 rubles. So let's go. But first, let's discuss the technical details of this unreal bushcrafter. The knife is quite light. It weighs around 100 grams. I don't know, I didn't weigh it. It has candy grinds, but with a secondary bevel. The thickness of the blade is 1.5 millimeters, not more. It's made of stainless steel, AEC 420. The handle is made out of wood, corresponds to all the union standards. There is a 12-month warranty, so if we kill it, we can give it back with a warranty. The length of the blade is 130 millimeters, and the handle is 115 millimeters, 4.5 inches. Let's try how sharp it is. The only thing useless we found in the car is the cameraman's parking tickets. So let's see how it cuts. Yeah, that was a glitch. Actually, it cuts. It's not some useless bushcrafter like that just tears the paper. Yikes. How can you use such stupid, expensive knives? This is the knife you need. It's really cool. Actually, it does tear a little, but these are just some wet parking tickets. But let's give it the tasks a real bushcraft knife is made for. We'll start with the main thing a bushcrafter needs. Put down a tree with a knife. And I found a tree. This one. I think for our bushcraft knife, this is just the size. Let's go. So far so good. Let's make another one a little lower. I'm not gonna try to bend the knife because the knife really bends. But we'll try to do it little by little, like this. The process is going on. A super knife is doing great.
Haja! Bushcraft!
There's a bend! There's a bend of the cutting edge! We'll use a grinder to resharpen it. We have put down the tree. Let's take it apart. Doesn't matter that I can just break it with a knee. We have a good knife, so let's use it. Check it out. Just look how nicely it cuts. What a beauty. It's not some cool knives for 300 or 400 sterling pounds from Morskokansky's or whatever. That's a bushcraft knife from Tramontina, real Brazilian quality. And now, the all-time favorite, betoning. Yeah, my friends, it's not a toy. It's not some knife for children for $100. Now, my friends, let's shave some wood. You know, all bushcrafting knives should be cutting wood nicely. Do this, what you call it, a feather stick. This kind of thing. So we'll start with an easy task and give it some pine tree. First, I'll cut like this. I put it so deep, but still, this super bushcraft knife deals with everything you throw at it. Cool. Now let's try a forceful cut. Hell, it's just great. That's a great knife. And you would think I can go start hunting vampires with the stake, but no, it was pine. And you can only hunt vampires with aspen. So we have an aspen stick. Let's start. The forceful cut. Not a single vampire will survive. Well, it works great. And now let's try to do some shaving, do some feather stick. That's what all the bushcrafters are doing. Who needs birch bark when you can shave the wood for half an hour and then try to light it on fire with a ferro rod for another half an hour? So cool. Let's go. It goes too deep. We need some finer shaving. This candy grind should help. Well, what can I say? This knife is too cool for making fine shavings. It just goes through the wood all the way and cuts it in half. Yeah, this knife is for real men, not for those who like to jerk off like that. Still, we did manage to do some shaving, and let's scrape some birch bark. Let's go. As usual, it's just amazing. It does everything perfectly. I think we can start a fire in no time at all. Well, we have prepared everything for starting a fire, and now let's use a cool knife made by Tramontina. Actually, I didn't mention it. It's made by the Brazilian Tramontina brand. It's not some unknown Russian maker. It's an imported knife. And we'll use a fire steel from Bear Grylls. That's the only thing we have left from the knife. Let's try to start our bushcrafting fire. This knife is so cool, it breaks the fire starter made by the Expedition brand. Yeah, at first we tried to use the Bear Grylls ferro rod. Now we switched to the Expedition brand. It's even worse, so that's what it made. We have another one spare, so let's bring it. Who said that bushcrafting is easy? It's not. Even with a cool knife, it's not so easy to start a fire when your fire rod is shit. Yes, that's the ferro rod's problem. We did it. I'll tell you honestly, it took some effort to do it. The knife is too thin, it doesn't have a nice edge and it doesn't strike well. Besides, I think it's not tempered too much and it's not enough to make a good spark. But nevertheless, no pain, no gain. And we managed to start a fire. So my friends, this is the video we have. This is the knife bought for $1.50 at a supermarket with a discount. It did everything we wanted it to do, all the bushcrafting tasks. Now let's see what happened to its cutting edge. And we'll use the parking tickets for a test. Although no, let's start with an office paper. You see, amazingly it still cuts. Although it does have some bend, it still cuts. Maybe not so easily, but no, cuts nicely. Yeah, we did bend the cutting edge a little bit at one spot, but there are no notches. And we not just bended the cutting edge, but a little bit of a bevel as well. So what's the morals of this video? It's very simple. If you know how to use a knife, you can do everything with any knife. you can do everything you want. But it's just like with a car. Of course you can drive a Lada, but you should agree that it's much nicer, much more comfortable to use a more expensive car like a Mercedes, BMW or something like that. And same goes with the knives. Yes, you can use such a knife. But do you need it in the forest? Probably not. Actually, if you want some comfortable time in the forest, in the outdoors, to get some true pleasure from bushcrafting, just buy a good knife. A knife that was made for it, that would make it much more comfortable and easy to spend time in the nature, where you wouldn't think about a knife breaking and letting you down at the worst time possible. This is my answer to the comments that a lot of people are making. Oh, this knife is too expensive, why would you need such an expensive knife? You can buy a cheaper one. Of course you can. And in many aspects it will be okay. But if you have the opportunity to use a good tool, you should. That's it for now. I wish all of you good knives and comfortable, wonderful time in the nature. Have a good one and see you online.
What is it